March 15th, 1949, 2:47 a.m. Bumpy Johnson got the call. "Boss, we got a problem." "What kind of problem?" "Chinese gang just hit 3 of our opium houses, took everything, 50 kilos, killed 2 of our guys." Bumpy sat up in bed. Mamie stirred beside him. "Who?" "Hip Sing Tong, from Chinatown." Bumpy knew the name, one of the oldest Chinese gangs in New York, violent, organized, territorial, but they'd never touched Harlem before. "Where are they now?" "Gone, back to Chinatown." "With our product?" "Yes, boss." Bumpy got dressed. "I'll be there in 20 minutes. He arrived at the first opium house, 132nd Street. Police everywhere, bodies covered with sheets. His men standing around, angry, scared. Junie Bird gave the report. They came in fast, 6 men.
Armed with hatchets and guns, killed Bobby and Marcus, took all the opium, left this. He handed Bumpy a card, red, with a black dragon and Chinese characters. What does it say? Stephanie St. Clair stepped forward. She'd learned Chinese years ago, during her own wars with Chinese gangs. It says, "Harlem is ours now. Leave or die." Bumpy crumpled the card. Who's their leader? Tommy Chen, age 32, former Korean war soldier, took over Hip Sing Tong 2 years ago. Been expanding ever since. Took over most of Chinatown. Now he wants Harlem. Bumpy looked at the bodies, at his men, at the destroyed opium house, then spoke quietly. "Find Tommy Chen. Tell him I want to meet." "You want to negotiate?"
"No. I want to look him in the eye before I destroy him."
March 16th, 1949, 10 a.m. The message was delivered to Chinatown. Tommy Chen's response came back within an hour. On a card. Same red. Same dragon. "No meeting. Leave Harlem. Or die like your men." Junie read it. "He's not going to negotiate. Then we go to war." "With the Chinese?" "Yes." "Boss, they're ruthless. They don't fight like the Italians. They use hatchets, poison. They're not afraid to die." "Neither am I." Willie Jackson stepped forward. "How do we hit them?" "We don't. Not yet." "Why not?" "Because I need to understand them first. What they want. Why now? Who's backing them? Then we strike." Bumpy called Dr. Sarah Chen, his personal physician for 8 years. Chinese, from the same community as Hip Sing Tong. She answered on the 3rd ring.
"Dr. Chen, I need your help." "What's wrong? Are you injured?" "No, but I need information." "About what?" "About a gang, Hip Sing Tong, and a man named Tommy Chen." There was silence on the line. "Dr. Chen?" "I can't help you with that." "Why not?" "Because Tommy Chen is my brother." March 16th, 1949, 2 p.m. Bumpy drove to Dr. Chen's clinic, in Chinatown, dangerous territory. But he went alone, showing respect. Dr. Chen met him at the door. "Mr. Johnson, this is not safe for you here." "I know." "Then why come?" "Because I need to understand." "Come inside."
In her office, Dr. Chen explained, "Tommy is my younger brother. He's not a bad person, just damaged." "How?" "He went to Korea, fought in the war, saw terrible things. When he came back, he was different, angry, violent. He joined Hip Sing Tong, rose through the ranks, became leader 2 years ago, and now he's expanding into Harlem." "Yes." "Why?" "Because he wants to prove himself, to the elders, to the community, to our parents. By taking Harlem, he shows he's powerful, that Chinese can control more than just Chinatown." Bumpy leaned forward. "Dr. Chen, 8 years ago, you saved my life. When I was shot, no hospital would take me, but you did. I owe you." She nodded. "Yes, you do. So I'm asking, for that debt, help me avoid a war."
"I don't want to kill your brother, but I will if I have to." Dr. Chen was quiet, then spoke. "What do you want?" "A meeting, face to face, with Tommy. You, me, him. Neutral ground, no weapons, just talk." She shook her head. "He won't agree." "Make him agree." "How?" "Tell him that if he doesn't meet, I'll burn Chinatown to the ground." Dr. Chen's eyes went wide. He wouldn't. Try me. Your brother killed 2 of my men, stole 50 kilos of opium, threatened my organization. I'm offering 1 chance to resolve this peacefully. If he refuses, I'll assume he wants war, and I'll give it to him. Dr. Chen stared at Bumpy, saw he wasn't bluffing. I'll talk to him. Thank you. But Mr. Johnson? Yes? If you hurt my brother, our debt is paid, and you'll be my enemy.
Understood. March 18th, 1949, 8 p.m. The meeting was set. Dr. Chen's clinic. After hours. Neutral ground. Bumpy arrived with Junie. Tommy Chen arrived with Vincent the Blade Wong, his enforcer. They sat across from each other, Dr. Chen between them. Tommy spoke first, in English, with a slight accent. You're Bumpy Johnson. I am. I've heard of you. King of Harlem. Former king. Harlem is mine now. Bumpy smiled. You killed 2 of my men. They were in the way. You stole my product. It's my product now. You threatened me. It's not a threat. It's a fact. Harlem belongs to Hip Sing Tong. We're expanding. And you're in the way. Bumpy leaned back. Tommy, let me tell you something. I've been running Harlem for 20 years. I fought the Italians.
The Irish, the police, the government, all of them tried to take what's mine. All of them failed. You think you're different? Yes. Why? Because I'm willing to die. So am I. Then we'll die together. Dr. Chen interrupted. Stop. Both of you. This is exactly what I was afraid of. 2 stubborn men. Too proud to compromise. Tommy, Bumpy saved my life once. And Bumpy, Tommy is my brother. I won't let you kill each other. Then what do you suggest? Tommy asked. Partnership. Both men stared at her. What? Dr. Chen continued. You both want the same thing. Money, power, respect. Why fight over it when you can share it? Tommy shook his head. I don't share. Neither do I. Bumpy said. Then you're both fools. She stood up, walked to the window.
Looked out at Chinatown. Do you know what's happening in this community? The Italians are squeezing us, taking our businesses, forcing us out. We're being pushed into smaller and smaller territory. Tommy is expanding into Harlem because he has no choice. There's nowhere else to go.
Bumpy looked at Tommy. Is that true? Tommy's jaw clenched, then nodded. Yes, the Italians, Fat Tony Salerno, Vito Genovese. They've taken half of Chinatown. We're suffocating. Bumpy understood. He'd faced the same thing. It's why you're attacking me. You're desperate. We're not desperate. We're strategic. Harlem has resources, customers, territory. We need it. And you think you can just take it? Yes. Bumpy smiled. You've got balls, kid. I'll give you that. But you're making a mistake. What mistake? Thinking Harlem is weak. Thinking I'm just going to give it up. I've fought bigger enemies than you, and won. Tommy leaned forward. Then let's fight, and see who wins. Dr. Chen slammed her hand on the table. No, I won't allow it. Tommy turned to his sister. You don't control me. No, but I control this clinic, which has saved both of your lives. Bumpy when he was shot. Tommy when you were poisoned last year. Remember? Tommy went quiet. Dr. Chen continued. You both owe me, so I'm calling in that debt. Right now, you will listen. To what? To a solution. She pulled out a map, spread it on the table. Here's Harlem, here's Chinatown. Between them, Little Italy, Fat Tony's territory. Both men looked. Dr. Chen continued. Fat Tony controls the opium pipeline. He buys from you, Tommy, sells to you, Bumpy, takes a cut from both sides, makes millions, while you two fight over scraps. Tommy frowned. What are you suggesting? Cut out the middleman. Work together. Tommy supplies. Bumpy distributes. Split profits. No Italian cut. Both men were silent, thinking. Bumpy spoke first. Tommy, how much does Fat Tony pay you for opium? 40% of market value.
highway robbery, and he charges me double, triple, so we're both being screwed. Yes. Bumpy looked at Tommy. If we worked together, we'd make more money, control more territory, and weaken the Italians. Tommy nodded slowly. But I don't trust you. I don't trust you either. Then how does this work? Dr. Chen answered. You start small, test each other, prove you can work together. Tommy, you supply Bumpy with opium, at fair market value, 60%. Bumpy, you distribute in Harlem, pay Tommy his cut, 80% profit split, in your favor because you're taking the risk. They run it for 3 months, see if it works. If it does, expand. If it doesn't, you can always kill each other later. Bumpy laughed. She's got a point. Tommy didn't laugh, but he nodded. 3 months, trial period. If you cheat me, I kill you.
Same. They didn't shake hands, just nodded. The meeting was over. March 25th, 1949. First delivery. Tommy's men brought 20 kilos of pure opium to Harlem. Met Bumpy's men at a warehouse. Tents, weapons visible, but no violence. The exchange happened. Opium for cash. 60% of market value. Fair price. Tommy's men left. Junie turned to Bumpy. You really trust them? No, but I trust the deal. It makes sense, for both of us. What about the Italians? They're going to notice the money drying up. Let them notice. Willie asked. What if this is a trap? What if Tommy's planning to take over once he's inside? Then we'll be ready. But I don't think it is. Why not? Because Dr. Chen wouldn't let him. She's the smartest person in this deal.
And she wants peace. April 1949. First month of partnership. Sales exploded. Bumpy's opium houses were stocked. Prices dropped because there was no Italian middleman. Demand increased. Revenue doubled. Tommy got his cut. 80-20 split, in Bumpy's favor. But Tommy made more money than before, because volume increased. By the end of April, both sides were profitable. May 1949. Fat Tony Salerno noticed, called Bumpy. We need to talk. About what? About my missing revenue. I don't know what you mean. You stopped buying from me. I found a better supplier. Who? That's my business. Bumpy, don't play games. You're buying from the Chinese, direct, cutting me out. So that's a violation. Of what? Of our understanding. We never had an understanding.
You were overcharging me. I found a better deal. Fat Tony's voice went cold. This is going to be a problem. Then solve it. But if you come at me or my suppliers, it becomes a bigger problem. Are you threatening me? I'm informing you. Harlem is protected, and so is Chinatown. By who? By me. Fat Tony laughed. You're protecting the Chinese now? We have an arrangement. You've lost your mind, Bumpy, allying with them against us. Maybe, but I'm making more money, and that's all that matters. This isn't over. I know. June 1949. 3 months into the partnership, Tommy Chen requested a meeting at the same clinic. Bumpy came. So did Tommy. They sat. Tommy spoke. The trial period is over. Yes, it worked. Better than expected. Tommy nodded.
I made more money in 3 months than I made in a year under Fat Tony. Same. So what now? Tommy pulled out a document. Partnership agreement. Long term. We expand. Split Harlem and Chinatown operations. Coordinate. Protect each other. Bumpy read the agreement. It was fair, detailed, professional. You wrote this? My sister helped. She's a good businesswoman. She's a good person.
Tommy nodded. She believes in you. Said you're honorable. Are you? Bumpy looked at Tommy. I keep my word. Good. So do I. Tommy extended his hand. This time, Bumpy shook it. Partners. Partners. June 15th, 1949. Fat Tommy made his move. Sent 20 men to attack one of Bumpy's opium houses. Tried to burn it down, send a message. Bumpy's men fought back, but were outnumbered. Then Tony's men arrived, 15 Hip Sing Tong soldiers, with hatchets. The Italians weren't expecting Chinese reinforcements. The fight turned. Fat Tony's men retreated. 3 dead, 7 wounded. All Italians. 0 casualties on Bumpy or Tommy's side.
After the fight, Bumpy found Tommy. "Thank you. Don't thank me. We're partners. That's what partners do."
You could have let me fight alone. Then the Italians would have destroyed you, and I'd lose my best customer. Bad business. Bumpy smiled. You're smarter than I thought. So are you. Most people underestimate us because we're different. Exactly. But different doesn't mean weak. No, it means unexpected, and unexpected is an advantage. July 1949. The Italian mob called a meeting, demanded Bumpy and Tommy attend, at Fat Tony's social club. Bumpy and Tommy walked in together, 10 Italian gangsters, surrounding them, Fat Tony at the head of the table. "You two have caused us a lot of problems. That wasn't our intention," Bumpy said. "Bullshit. You deliberately cut us out. We found a more efficient arrangement by working together, against us."
No, for ourselves. There's a difference. Fat Tony leaned forward. "Here's what's going to happen. You're going to end this partnership, go back to buying from us, or we're going to war." Bumpy and Tommy looked at each other, then back at Fat Tony. "No," Bumpy said. "What? We're not ending the partnership, and we're not going to war." "Then what?" "We're offering you a deal." "What kind of deal?" "Partnership. With us."
July 1949. Fat Tony's Social Club. Fat Tony stared at Bumpy and Tommy. "You want to partner with us?" "Yes." "After cutting us out?" "Because we cut you out, you're losing money. We're offering a way to make it back." "How?" Tommy spoke up, his first time addressing the Italians directly. "You control distribution in Little Italy, Brooklyn, the Bronx. We control Harlem and Chinatown. Instead of competing, we coordinate. You handle your territories, we handle ours. Nobody crosses lines, nobody undercuts prices. We all make more money." Fat Tony scoffed. "Why would we agree to that?" "Because the alternative is war, and war is expensive," Tommy continued. "Right now, you're spending money fighting us, losing soldiers, losing revenue. For what? Pride?"
"That's not good business." One of Fat Tony's men, Carmine, spoke up. "You're asking us to respect Chinese territory and black territory?" "Yes." Carmine laughed. "That's not how this works. We're Italian. We run New York. You run your neighborhoods. We run the city." Bumpy leaned forward. "Then explain why you couldn't take Harlem or Chinatown. For 20 years you've tried and failed. Not because we're stronger, because our communities are loyal. They protect us. You can't buy that, can't force that." The room was silent. Fat Tony knew it was true. "So what are you proposing exactly?" "Meyer Lansky's model," Bumpy said. "Commission, but expanded. Not just 5 Italian families. Add Harlem, add Chinatown. 7 territories, 7 votes."
We settle disputes through conversation, not war. Fat Tony looked at his men, then back at Bumpy and Tommy. "I need to discuss this with people above my pay grade." "Who?" "Lucky Luciano, Frank Costello, the Commission." "Do that. We'll wait for an answer." "But Tony?" "Yes?" "Don't wait too long, because every day you delay, we're making money, and you're not."
August 1949. 1 month later. Frank Costello called Bumpy. "The commission wants to meet with both of you, you and Tommy Chen." "When?" "Tomorrow, Atlantic City. We'll be there." August 15th, 1949. Atlantic City. Same hotel as before, but different room, bigger. Present: Frank Costello, Meyer Lansky, Albert Anastasia, Joe Bonanno, Carlo Gambino, the 5 families, and Bumpy Johnson, Tommy Chen, representing Harlem and Chinatown. Frank Costello spoke first. "Gentlemen, we're here because you've proposed something unprecedented, an expansion of the commission to include non-Italian territories." "That's correct," Bumpy said. "Why should we agree?" "Because it benefits everyone." Meyer Lansky leaned forward. "Explain."
Bumpy gestured to Tommy. Together, they presented. Tommy began. "Right now, you control most of New York, But not all. Harlem and Chinatown remain independent. You've tried to take them by force, failed, because our communities resist. Bumpy continued. So you have 3 options. 1. Keep trying to take us by force, waste money, soldiers, time, eventually fail. 2. Leave us alone, let us operate independently, lose potential coordination and revenue. 3. Partner with us, recognize our territories, coordinate operations. Everyone makes more money, less violence, better business. Albert Anastasia, the most violent of the bosses, spoke. And if we say no, then nothing changes. We keep fighting, you keep losing soldiers, we keep defending.
Nobody wins. But if we say yes, then you get 7 territories instead of 5. Coordinated, organized, more powerful, more profitable. Carlo Gambino, the smartest of the bosses, asked a question. What guarantees do we have that you'll honor this arrangement? The same guarantee you have with each other. Mutual interest. We make more money together than apart. That's the only guarantee that matters.
Meyer Lansky smiled. He likes your thinking. He's right. The commission was built on that principle. Mutual interest over individual greed. Joe Bonanno spoke. But there's a problem. What? You're not Italian. Neither is Meyer, Bumpy pointed out. Meyer's Jewish. But he's been with us from the beginning. So were we. Stephanie St. Clair was running numbers in Harlem before the commission existed. I've been protecting Harlem for 20 years. Tommy's people have been in Chinatown for a century. We were here first. You just didn't notice. Frank Costello raised a hand. Enough. The question is simple. Do we benefit from this arrangement? Financially? Yes. Strategically? Yes. Politically? Yes. Then the answer is obvious.
He looked at the other bosses. I vote yes. Meyer Lansky nodded. Yes. Joe Bonanno thought, then agreed. Yes. Carlo Gambino smiled. Yes. Everyone looked at Albert Anastasia, the most violent, the most traditional, the one most likely to say no. Albert stared at Bumpy and Tommy. You killed 3 of my guys last month, in that fight at the Opium House. That was Fat Tony's fight, Bumpy said, not yours. Your men were there, because Tony asked for help, but it wasn't our war. Albert leaned back. You're right, it wasn't. And that's the problem with the current system. We're getting dragged into each other's fights, wasting resources. If we had clear territories, that wouldn't happen. Exactly. Albert nodded. I vote yes. Frank Costello stood.
Then it's decided. Welcome to the commission. Bumpy Johnson, Tommy Chen, you're now part of the most powerful organization in America. Tommy spoke carefully. We appreciate the recognition, but we want to be clear. We're partners, not subordinates. Harlem remains autonomous. Chinatown remains autonomous. We coordinate. We don't submit. Frank smiled. Understood. That's the whole point.
September 1949. The expanded commission held its first official meeting. 7 territories represented. 1. Genovese family, Vito Genovese. 2. Lucchese family, Tommy Lucchese. 3. Gambino family, Carlo Gambino. 4. Bonanno family, Joe Bonanno. 5. Colombo family, Joe Profaci. 6. Harlem, Bumpy Johnson. 7. Chinatown, Tommy Chen. First order of business, territory boundaries, clearly defined, mapped, agreed upon. Harlem, 110th to 155th Street, 5th Avenue to St. Nicholas. Chinatown, Canal to Worth, Lafayette to Bowery. No crossing without permission, no poaching customers, no violence without commission approval. Second order of business, profit coordination. Opium trade regulated, Bumpy and Tommy supply.
Italians distribute outside their territories. Fair prices, no undercutting. Everyone profits. Third order of business, dispute resolution. Any conflict between territories goes to commission vote. Majority rules. No independent wars. By the end of September, the new system was operational. October 1949. First test. A conflict. One of Vito Genovese's men shot a Chinese businessman in Chinatown, killed him over a gambling debt. Tommy wanted revenge, wanted to kill Genovese's man. called for commission meeting. The 7 bosses gathered. Tommy presented his case. Your man killed one of my people, in my territory, without permission. That's a violation. Vito Genovese argued it was a personal dispute, over gambling, not business.
Tommy countered, "It happened in Chinatown. That makes it my business. Your man crossed into my territory, committed murder, and didn't report it. That's 3 violations." The commission voted. Should Genovese's man be punished? 6 voted yes, 1 voted no. Genovese. Majority ruled. Genovese's man was turned over to Tommy for justice. Traditional Chinese gang justice. Exile. The man was banished from New York, permanently. Tommy accepted. Genovese was furious, but bound by commission rules. The system worked.
Soldiers are coming home. Black soldiers, Chinese soldiers. They fought for America, bled for America, and they're coming back to segregation, discrimination. Nothing's changed. Tommy understood. That's why this matters. Yes, we're showing that merit matters more than race, that business can be colorblind, even if society isn't. They sat in silence, thinking about what they'd built. January 1950. 1 year since the Chinese gang first tried to take over Harlem. 1 year since the conflict began. Now, sitting in Small's paradise, Bumpy and Tommy celebrated, with their crews, Harlem and Chinese gangsters, drinking together, talking, laughing. A year ago, this would have been impossible. Junie Bird approached Bumpy. "Boss, can I talk to you?"
Sure. Privately. They stepped outside. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. I wanted to say I was wrong. About what? About Tommy. About this partnership. I thought it was a mistake. Thought he'd betray us. But he didn't. No, he kept his word, and we all made money. Junie nodded. More than that, we made history. This is the first time I've seen Chinese and black working together against the Italians. It's revolutionary. Bumpy smiled. Don't get too idealistic. This is still crime. I know, but it's principled crime. There's a difference.
Inside, Tommy was having a similar conversation with Vincent the Blade Wong. "Boss, I underestimated Bumpy Johnson." "How so?" "I thought he was just another gangster. Tough, but limited. He's more than that. Yes, he's a strategist. Sees 10 moves ahead. Knows when to fight, when to negotiate, when to partner. That's rare." Vincent nodded. "Hip Sing Tong is stronger because of him, because of this alliance. Yes, and Harlem is stronger because of us. We balance each other." February 1950, Dr. Sarah Chen invited Bumpy and Tommy to dinner at her home. First time they'd socialized outside of business. Over Chinese food, she spoke. "I'm proud of both of you." "For what?" "For not killing each other. For finding a better way." Tommy laughed.
It was your idea. I just facilitated. You did more than that. You made us see past our prejudices, made us see each other as people, not enemies. That's powerful. Bumpy raised his glass. To Dr. Chen, who saved more than lives. She saved this city from a bloody war. They toasted, drank. Then Dr. Chen spoke seriously. But you need to be careful. Why? Because not everyone is happy about this alliance. Who? Some of the old guard, in both communities. They see this as betrayal, collaboration with the enemy. Tommy frowned. Who specifically? In Chinatown, the elders, the ones who remember the Tong Wars. They don't trust outsiders. In Harlem, some of the nationalists, the ones who think black people should only work with black people.
"They see me working with Chinese as selling out." Dr. Chen nodded. "You need to address this, before it becomes a problem." "How?" "By showing results. By proving that this alliance helps both communities, not just the bosses, but everyone."
March 1950. Bumpy and Tommy held a community meeting in Harlem at Abyssinian Baptist Church. Reverend Adam Clayton Powell Jr. hosted. 200 people attended. Harlem residents, Chinese community members, mixed crowd. Bumpy spoke first. A year ago, there was conflict between Harlem and Chinatown. Violence, death, waste. But instead of war, we chose partnership. And here's what happened. He showed numbers. Jobs created, 50 in Harlem, 30 in Chinatown. Revenue shared, $500,000 invested in community programs. Violence down, 60% reduction in gang conflicts. People listened, some skeptical, but interested. Tommy spoke next, in Chinese, translated by Dr. Chen. My community was being squeezed by the Italians. We were desperate.
We saw Harlem as an opportunity, a place to expand. But Bumpy taught us something, that partnership is better than conquest, that different communities can work together, and everyone benefits. He showed more numbers. Chinatown businesses protected, 40. Police harassment reduced, 70%. Community safety increased, 50%.
He wants to know if this is temporary or permanent. Tommy answered, in Chinese. Dr. Chen translated, as long as it benefits both communities, it's permanent. The moment it stops benefiting people, it ends. But I believe it will last, because it's built on mutual interest, not exploitation. The elder nodded, sat down, approved.
April 1950. The commission met again, reviewed first-year results. Frank Costello spoke. Gentlemen, the expanded commission has exceeded all expectations. Revenue is up across all territories. Violence is down. Legal heat is reduced because we're not fighting each other. This is the most successful year in commission history. Meyer-Lansky added the numbers. Total revenue, $50 million, up from $35 million last year. That's 43% growth in 1 year. He looked at Bumpy and Tommy. Most of that growth came from the Harlem-Chinatown alliance. You two pioneered a new model, and it worked. Carlo Gambino stood. I want to propose something. What? We make this permanent, official, not just a trial, but a permanent structure. 7 families.
Equal votes, equal respect. The room voted. Unanimous. Yes. Frank Costello raised his glass. To the commission, now truly representing all of New York. Everyone drank. May 1950. Bumpy and Tommy sat on the steps of Small's Paradise, late night, quiet. Just the two of them. Tommy spoke first. A year ago, I wanted to kill you. I know. I wanted to kill you too. But here we are. Partners. Friends. Yes. Tommy looked at Bumpy. Can I ask you something? Sure. Why did you agree to this? To partnership, when you could have just gone to war? Bumpy thought, then answered honestly. Because I'm tired. Tired of fighting. Tired of violence. Tired of wars that accomplish nothing. I've been doing this for 20 years. And I realized something. What? That the goal isn't to win. It's to build something that lasts. And the only things that last are built on cooperation, not conquest. Tommy nodded. My sister said the same thing. She's wise. Yes, we're lucky to have her. Bumpy agreed. Without her, we'd both be dead, probably. They sat in comfortable silence, watching Harlem, watching Chinatown in the distance. 2 communities, 2 cultures, 1 alliance, proving that different didn't mean enemies, just different.
Years later, in 1965, Tommy Chen retired, passed Hip Sing Tong leadership to his nephew. At his retirement party, he gave a speech. 15 years ago, I tried to take Harlem by force. I failed, but that failure led to the greatest success of my life, partnership with Bumpy Johnson. Together, we built something unprecedented, an alliance between communities, between cultures. That alliance made us wealthy, but more importantly, it made us brothers. Bumpy stood, applauded. The crowd followed. In 1968, when Bumpy Johnson died, Tommy Chen was at the funeral, front row, crying openly. In his eulogy, he said, Bumpy Johnson taught me that strength isn't about domination, it's about elevation. He elevated me, my community, our alliance.
And in doing so, he changed New York forever. The Harlem-Chinatown alliance lasted 30 years, until both organizations dissolved in the 1970s. But the model remained, proof that cooperation works better than conflict, that different communities can work together,
if they're willing to try. If this story of unexpected alliance, cultural cooperation, and mutual respect moved you, hit that subscribe button. Drop a like if you believe that differences can be strengths when people work together. Share this with someone who needs to hear about the Chinese gang and the Harlem King who became brothers. What would you have done in Bumpy's position? Let me know in the comments. And remember, the greatest victories aren't won through war.
They're won through partnership. Bumpy Johnson and Tommy Chen proved that and changed history.